It's essentially the last day of ballot paper production here at AL-Ghurair Printing and Publishing Farm. And by this evening, what we are told is that 20.4 million ballot papers have been printed for the 19.6 million voters, being a slight reduction from what was produced in the last election. But in there was still processes that are taking place in terms of serialization of the ballot papers to ensure that no single ballot paper lands in the wrong constituency. Alongside that, there are some 3 forms that have been introduced by the IEBC talking about the accountability in terms of the handling of voters who come to the polling stations, the presiding officers to fill in details of persons who cannot be identified using the KIMS gadgets. That is the serialization that is still going on and expected to conclude by tomorrow. Back to the warehouse, and these are the ballot papers for at least 10 counties that are considered far-flung, that is those which are very far from Nairobi and having some challenges in terms of access. And these include the counties of Mandera, Marsabit, Garissa, Wajir, and Lamu, as well as Turkana. And what we are told is that these ballot papers will be lying at the Dubai International Airport for at least 24 hours to allow for the period that is called the cooling process for them to be ready for shipment to Nairobi. They're expected in Nairobi on Saturday, that is at 8 p.m. at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. But as you look at them, they may appear just like large stacks of ballot papers, but there are things that are contained in that ballot paper. Let me just try and show you what is contained in them just before they are packaged to what is now called the ballot paper pallets. Now, this is essentially the last beehive in the production of ballot papers and the statutory forms. On my left, these are the gentlemen working the final touches in preparing the very important forms. You're talking about the results declaration forms, Form 34B for the constituencies and Form 34A for the polling stations, which are all packaged together for each and every polling station. But for the Form 34B, which is that you use to declare results at the constituency, they are packaged in a particular box, which every constituency returning officer receiving at least 20 copies of the same, which they'll use to print out the results from that constituency for the presidential race. Now, all this, they are packaged together into what you call the ballot paper stack or the pallet, which is transported to each and every constituency. And so all these will be undone on Wednesday next week when the constituency returning officers receive their respective packages, which they will have to open for the various polling stations in their constituencies that they have to distribute ahead of the election on Thursday. For Citizen TV from Dubai, I'm Sam Gituku.